close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Let's Talk. How are you guys this week? Today's topic is the government. Today in studio is just Aurora and myself, Synfile. So Aurora, what are your thoughts on the government?
Hi guys. So, if we're speaking about our local government, I think that they really need a lot of work because the way the economy and everything is going, it is horrible. It's in a horrible state.
Yeah, and also the truth is that how the Ministry of Education, they're not doing their job properly, and they have a lot of schools that actually need new facilities, and they're unable to get that.
Yes, there's a lot of work needs to be done in the schools. Like they need to invest in the school. They're investing in everything else but the school in Trinidad.
Yes, amen. And the people in the school that are actually annoying because they're not doing anything. They're basically they're just bringing on the school even more because they're not even doing their job properly.
Imagine they are investing in carnival more than they can invest in school. Like you're investing in something that lasts only like 2 to 3 days, and then after you not even thinking about the future of the country, which is the schools that need constant working on.
Yeah, because honestly, it just, oh my god, I just want to come. I cannot comprehend how the back to front. So that's basically what it is. Just back to front.
And here's what the problem is in most of these cases. Like these people who are very skilled and have a lot of potential in this country and could really change it, they are moving to different countries because they cannot have the right resources and money given to them to actually further their future in Trinidad and Tobago. So all our skilled people are migrating to other countries and giving their skill to other countries, and they are bringing in income to those countries instead of ours.
Yeah, true. Because I am not want to leave and go to another country and study because they have better facilities and basically their qualifications, I could go anywhere with it, and I won't have to worry about not being accepted into a certain job or certain school. Whereas compared to here, we only have the Caribbean Examinations Council, and it's only throughout the Caribbean and London, a little bit accepting in England, that is. But other than that, they're not really accepting it because it's not really global or international.
Exactly.
As it is.
And these are the things the government needs to work on, but they choose not to because they are spending too much time wasting on other stuff that don't even matter. Like, tell me what Mr. Rowley is doing as of now to the country. Like, I don't even hear from him. I don't even know if he's in the country right now. And we are students of Trinidad and Tobago. So this just goes to show you what we are experiencing.
And they're not really trying to do anything because basically the ministers there, and for the past since Form 1, I remember Central Secondary was supposed to get the new school up and running, but now it's been 5 years and it's not even close to opening anytime soon. But it's at the end of the year. But I'm not holding my breath for that end of the year because I finished in school like basically in July of this year, so it doesn't really matter. But I find it took too long to reach this point because they should have put something in place because they know that school will have limited resources and also limited space for students, for about 700 plus students in that school at the moment.
Yes, and with the secondary school, they didn't recognize built secondary school that are having money invested in it constantly is basically Bishops and Trinity. And all those prestige schools like STAGs and everything. And I don't even think some of the prestige schools are even getting attention. And they shouldn't even have prestige schools.
Yeah, because they basically they're having a bit of society, they're basically divided society in half, like academic level, like secondary school level, because prestigious and non-prestigious, have that reputation and standard that you have to uphold when you're in a prestigious school.
Exactly. And this is the thing. We do SDA to get in the school that we want to get in. We have choices and put down what school
For people
we
who
want
don't
to
know
go.
what SE is, could you tell them what it stands for?
Yes, go on.
No, you explain what it stands for.
You explain what it stands
Okay,
for.
so our listeners, SEA stands for Secondary Education, Secondary Entrance Assessment.
Yes. And that determines what secondary school you will get into. And if you don't know what is secondary school, it's like high school, but probably with not as much years as high school in your country. Because we only have to do secondary school for about 5 years, and then we're out at the age of 16 and 17 for most.
Well, 18 for the most, but yeah.
Well, yeah, it have 18-year-olds and it have even 19-year-olds that are finishing school at, well, secondary school, but the age that expected for most people to finish secondary school in Trinidad are 17 and 16.
60?
16!
Oh, that,
Oh my lord.
that sounds like 60. But yeah.
Anyway.
But if you're adding in Form 6, it will basically be equivalent to high school in a way, because of the duration.
Yes. Well, the thing is, a lot of us could still get in to our local universities. Sometimes depends on what subject you're doing without doing Form 6. But then some subjects are required for you to do Form 6.
Basically, University of the West Indies, basically you have to have Form 6 to do like engineering and science and all them kind of things. So most people have to do Form 6. But look at the thing, they're asking for A-levels down here, but other countries, you don't really have to have A-levels. You could do something else. It's more accessible outside, and that is why most people are heading to study abroad. And when they find it accessible, they're not really coming back here, because what's the point?
Exactly. And even when everybody is finished school, when everybody is finished with university and all that in Trinidad, they still want to migrate because there are no jobs available, well, enough jobs available. And in Trinidad, I mean, this happens all over the world where it's based on who you know and the connections you have that will get you a job. But in Trinidad, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to get a job here because you basically have to have some type of connection to get in any type of job, and it's ridiculous.
And it also have limited sectors. Some sectors are not really accessible as other countries, like for instance voice acting, modeling, information technology, like research and development, and like aviation and stuff. Because the only aviation you could do is in Piaco International Airport, as well as working in Caribbean Airlines. It don't have like research to build planes or anything like that. It's only like for the US, Japan, and other major countries, so it's more accessible outside there than in here. So it's also have that limited job types that most people pursue or want to pursue and have a great interest in, and therefore people leave the country, and the government is not really doing anything to bring that down here, or at least put something in place for the future generation to come.
That is true. And not only is it in that, but it is major in the art community. Trinidad gives us nothing. Like there are no opportunities for artists in Trinidad and Tobago.
The last time I heard about artists, it was like never, because I never really hear about artists that much. I had to literally research, and still didn't find no artists really in Trinidad and anything Like, but even in other Caribbean countries, they do have something for art, and that is very admirable and very commendable. But here, it's
And we're not even talking about artists when it comes to singing, because we know we have
Yeah.
that, but we are speaking about visual arts.
drawing and painting
and
things.
yeah, and even performing arts like actors and all that. It have a few upcoming people from Trinidad, but
It's just
Yeah.
hardly
And
accessible.
Trinidad-
It's not really accessible for regular
Yeah.
people to actually get. You have to pursue that and search for the means and even have a connection, as you say, which is rather difficult to other people.
we don't even have like such. We have carnival, yes. We have singers like Marshall Montano and well, yes, soca singers. Yes, they are popular and all that for our country, but we don't have a platform for actors and comedians and artists, visual artists in our country, which is really sad, because when you think about it, our country is a tourist attraction for tourists, so it would be excuse me, but yeah, it would be important for us to have art. You would think that, because we should have a lot of events in place pushing for art, pushing for like museums having art, and then for performing arts, they should have a lot of events for even tourists to come and see and learn about our culture and putting money in our country. But instead, this is things that the Prime Minister don't sit down and think about, because he's too busy going vacationing all over the world and being a tourist and giving his money in other places, that he should be in his country thinking about what he needs to do as a Prime Minister.
They actually want to enforce, like, they want to actually focus on more schools doing steel pan and stuff, because it's a national instrument. But other than that, they don't really have anything major for students. You mostly find things like science, not even science that much. Science, you have to like know exactly where to go at the National Science Center in Trinidad. Other than that, for art, they don't really have anything that really provide for students here,
and that could easily be fixed if you think about it, because it could just have events that are put in place, just like it have carnival, just like it have all these events that happen yearly. There should be events that happen yearly. That is a thing that happen in Trinidad that is big, and it should be an event that artists and people who are in performing arts, who are in visual arts, should all get together and do an event, and people could come and see it and spend their money, and that's how they will make their money. It's very simple. Just have a company for that one thing. But instead, they're not thinking to do that.
they really have much investments really, because you know how the economy is right now and the lack of foreign exchange. So basically doing that now is basically practically too late. But they should have done that earlier. Somebody should have brought up that.
I don't think it's still too late right now, because where is our money going when you think about it? We're paying all this money for taxes and all this, and I understand there are some things that we need as a country, but why do we still have money to invest in carnival and all these things?
Not because they want to encourage tourists to come between the months of February and March to increase the tourists and the foreign exchange that is currently lacking. I would believe so.
Yes, and I can understand that, but it could have a limit to how much you invest. Like, I understand that you need to invest in this, and it is important because that is our main tourist attraction in our country. Yes, like the amount of money that is put into it is not called for, because it could be shared equally in different situations. That is
Okay,
needed.
so let's look at other countries. Let's look at major countries like Japan, the US, South Korea, and different things. If you notice, most of the actors, like for instance, they have more opportunities for art, for like performing arts and stuff. But basically, they have for Japan have J dramas, and I am personally a fan of J dramas. Right now, after this podcast, I'm literally going to watch some J drama after exam is finished, which is today. Korea also have K dramas. They have K-pop as well. Japan has J-pop. America has like movies and like sitcoms, and they have easily pursuable performing art stuff, which is great because if you look at that, it provides an opportunity for more youths to actually express themselves. Because some people might not really be academically inclined as to like study and learn sciences and basically perform academically well, but they have a skill, a certain talent for art and drawing and acting, as well as portraying a certain vocal vocal skills. Um, Basically, that is really good, and we should have something like that. Because basically more and more people go away to study, to do art across there, and basically have shows that are showing all across the world.
Yes, and I understand that, but Trinidad alone cannot do it. The thing is, Trinidad cannot have a place that have entertainment and make movie making like Hollywood and all that. We can't do it by ourselves. The Caribbean could come
Yeah, because
together.
that's actually what I was meaning. Because the Caribbean have to come together. Because they could basically have their own Caribbean version of Hollywood, and
Exactly. The Caribbean, the West Indies need to come together, and they need to all make this thing like Hollywood, and we need to start producing movies and all these things, because that is the common source of entertainment, and that is where money is being put in this generation. Because entertainment right now is so high, it is like one of the biggest money making thing in the world right now. So that is why we need to invest more in entertainment, because it is making
and they
a
should
lot of
also
money
try
these
to
days.
like get YouTube to monetize in the Caribbean as well as in Trinidad and Tobago, because you don't really have to focus on publishing like the traditional way. You could also have YouTube to earn money from people watching the movie, as well as doing different performing arts, and basically distribute the culture and share with other people of the world, and basically can open up that platform for many people to go in and explore.
Yep.
So that's a lot of stuff that they have, and that's why most of our people are going to go to another country, including me, because I am going to study aviation across the Atlantic Ocean and even the Pacific Ocean.
And the thing is, a lot of Trinidadians are moving away, and some of them are even becoming famous in the entertainment world. And like even the guy who
Black
acted
Panther.
on Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther.
Huh? Yeah, well, let me try to get his name.
But I know he's from Tobago.
Yeah, he is from Tobago. Oh yeah, and if you guys didn't know, Trinidad and Tobago is one country. Yes, they are separated by water, but we are one. We are
They-
considered as one country.
There
So
are
it's
two,
Trinidad
there are
and
two
Tobago.
sister islands separated by water, as Aurora said. Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, they're close to Venezuela. So basically, if you know Venezuela, I'm sure you do. It's basically right above Venezuela. It's close. Venezuela is closer to us as Trinidad than Tobago itself.
Yes, and the actor name from Black Panther that is from Trinidad and Tobago is Winston Duke. And yes, he is from us. He's one of us. I know a lot of people brag and stuff about him.
But what's the
being
point
from
of bragging when they could actually
our
claim
country.
him out, when they actually have an entertainment industry in the Caribbean, which would make much more sense? So people could be like, oh, they have something, and you could basically grow your Caribbean identity.
And the thing is, he should be, because he is all the way in this industry and making all these moves and making all this money and is in the Hollywood system already. He should be given back to Trinidad. Well, it's not. It's not a must for him to give back to Trinidad, but I think it would be very beneficial if he do try to come back to Trinidad and do something with film and anything like that, because it would be very helpful.
Also, I wanna
This is the thing with our citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, that they should know. If we are complaining about Trinidad wanting Trinidad to change so much, and Trinidad is such this poor and horrible place and all that, we should be, when we do end up making money and when we do end up these professionals in these foreign places, we should be given back, because that is the only way we can move forward. And I know a few people who is given back, like Marshall Montano, Nyla Blackman. All these people, they didn't even make it worldwide yet. I know Marshall Montano have, but some of them didn't even make it worldwide yet, and they are still trying their best to put our country on the map, trying to help our country. So it just goes to show that the little one person could make a big difference in Trinidad.
Yeah, I also want to jump back to schools, right? The government schools versus the private schools or whatnot. If you notice, the government schools are basically the ones that are actually performing. Let's say they're uncivilized in that manner as compared to a private school or institution. Would you agree to that? Or any thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts on the difference between it. I think that private schools, on the whole, I think unless you're in Trinidad, I think that unless your child is special or have some type of learning disability, or has or crippled, or anything that is preventing them to learn physically or mentally. Other than that, if they are perfectly fine and healthy, I think they should be going to a public school.
Not really, because some people want to focus more. Basically, it's all for the status, because basically they can have somebody from, let's say, a family that is extremely rich going to a regular public school where everybody's rowdy, can we? So that's why I think private schools.
I know I have a few rich people that send their children to public school, and they turn out just fine.
But it's just the status won't be. How would you feel if, let's say, a bad school was the Caribbean Studies in Trinidad and Tobago? Let's say that's a school, and I'm sure that's an actual school, but let's say that school is basically poor, basically a public school that has a low standard, and let's say two families are talking, so the girl is attending a prestigious school and the guy is attending that same Caribbean Studies of Trinidad and Tobago. I think I forget the name, but yeah, that basically to have a kind of unbalance or imbalance or whatever it's called it within that that relationship, because the family won't be able to brag as much as the girl who would say, I went to this prestigious school and
But I don't think I understand what you're trying to say, but I think people with common sense would clearly see that putting your child in a so-called low-grade school, and whereas putting your child in a private school that has a big status, I think a person with common sense will see it doesn't matter at all. It's based on your child learning ability. If your child has problems with learning and needs special attention, then, but I don't see no need for someone to put their child in a private school, whether or not they want bragging rights, or whether or not they feel like it will look good on their
Definitely.
their resume, or help them get a job quicker. I think that shouldn't be, even though it does happen, and there's nothing really you could do about it, because I think maybe an employer will quicker hire someone from Bishops than hire someone from Five Rivers, because it have two different grades there. One is high, and then the next one is considered as low, and they as a bad school, and then one is considered as a great school. And I don't think it should have these labels, because I know it have a lot of people that went these so-called bad schools and made it better than most of the people who went to these private schools and these so-called good schools. Because there's a lot that is going on in these so-called private schools that people don't know of that is going on, because it's basically the same thing as a so-called bad school. People just don't hear about what is going on in it.
I also want to say that for the government school acting like they're supposed to maintain a bad image. And I find that it's not true. They should try to strive for success, because they're actually a government assisted school, or government school as you would say. And they have how to put it? They have more opportunities to get funds and resources from the government itself. And I find they should put something in place to make the school much better, because some government schools, they're just like, oh, I'm a government school, I'm not going to be at this standard and so forth, and sometimes it's just plain annoying and plain BS. But I guess that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is really this is something that is pushed by government too, because of SCA. I mean, I understand that we still need to test our children to see if they're fit to actually go into secondary school and learn, but I don't, or if they need to go to a special school or something. I understand that, but I don't think that there should have these things where it pressures the children that if you get into this school, then that means it's a bad school and you're not gonna make it in there, or pressure the children to say, if you need to pass for this school and you need to pass for that school because it's the better school and all of that. I don't think that makes sense, because that's just pressure, giving the child unneeded pressure, and then that's just shaping their whole perspective on government schools.
When I passed to school, my school I go in now, which is Arima Central Secondary, I honestly didn't know that school existed, and I literally did not want to go to that school, because the school I wanted to was like named college, like had the college in the name of my school. When you say secondary school, it sounds I automatically think that it is bad school, or it's not as high as colleges may sound.
Exactly. And the thing is, all schools should be treated the same. Schools should be treated the same. I mean, I understand tarnish the name of the school, but also there should be things put in place for these children, because the children cannot be overriding the adults and deciding and making the decision whether a school is bad or not. Because rules should be enforced. Is the teacher's fault. It is the principal's fault, because they need to enforce rules. They need to be professional. They cannot be coming to school and acting just like other children in the school. They need to be professional. Teachers
don't really have much say. They have to get permission from the school board and so forth, and as well as the Ministry of Education.
The principal is in charge of controlling the school. If
they have to get permission from the local school board and or the Ministry of Education themselves.
It is not that complicated, because they have certain things principals could do without needing to go through that long process, and some of these things are already their job that they need to do, and they don't do it. They just sit in their office whole day. Some students don't even see their principals at all, because they are always in the office. Some children, when they need to talk to the principal, they can't even get to talk to the principal. Some children, they want to complain to teachers about something, but they can't because the teachers are not taking them seriously. And this is just people not doing their jobs, is why we have so-called bad name schools.
Oh, yeah, that too, I guess.
Because if teachers were enforcing rules, I know there are lackadaisical students and there are students that are delinquents and not doing their part. They're not coming to school to learn, they are coming to do other stuff like smoking weed, like fighting, like all these things. And at the end of it, teachers, when they try to discipline them, they are not responding to it and they are instead lashing out. And this is not good, because I understand it's not good, but the teachers need to know that they need to report these students. They need to, and the principal need to suspend these students and enforce it instead of lightly brushing it off. And a child, from the first time I entered secondary school, they said that a child could only be suspended 3 times, and after the 3rd time, if they get suspended again, that would lead to expulsion, and that a child would have to be expelled from the school if they have more than 3 suspensions, and they would not be able to do CX. And that was never enforced, because I know students who got suspended 5 to 10 times and they are still going to school.
They can't do CX, yeah? They could always do it as a private candidate, but they won't be able.
No, I mean they can't do CXC with that
but
school.
They wanted to get a graduation certificate.
Yes, but they can't do CXC in that school.
What else do you want to discuss or bring up or put into the government?
Well, I think the main issue with our government is the education and the education system, and just basically how they run things with jobs and everything, because it shouldn't have such a big struggle to get a job, because people are putting in their money to study in the universities that have in Trinidad, like the University of the West Indies. People are putting in their money to study for jobs such as being a doctor, being all these big things, putting their money to get their degrees and their bachelors and all these things, all these qualifications. And when they're done, do all these things, they still cannot find a job, no matter how hard they try.
Is basically jump on a plane and go to another country.
And we have a bunch.
Jobs.
And some people don't even have that opportunity. Thank God, people in Trinidad, well, a lot of people in Trinidad cannot get a visa. Cannot get a visa easy, or cannot get a green card or citizenship, because this country would have been empty by now.
With nobody in it. Or this is an island with nobody in it.
Huh? Yes, it would be a ghost town. Okay, Trinidad would be. It wouldn't exist right now if everybody could have been able to live without us. All these things to stop them, like not being able to get a visa, and not being able to get a green card or even have citizenship from another country. So that is a good thing, because a lot of people would have left. And a lot of people have left. A lot of skilled people that we would have need have left.
It's called brain drain. Because I always call it in geography, when the skilled people leave the country, and also the trainers as well leave the country and go elsewhere. They really have much people train them to the standard that they should, and that's what they call brain drain. So let's say I am a skilled professor at the University of the West Indies, and I get fed up and I go to another university, let's say Oxford University. basically I would have a better reputation because I'm a teacher at one of the top schools in the world, one of the top universities in the world, which is, yeah, good.
Yeah. And let me tell you, you have a lot of overqualified people working at jobs like Pizza Hut in our country, at gas stations, at food places, as cashiers. Like all these people, like some of these people
I know
are
one thing as well,
overqualified
too.
for those jobs.
Um, and some jobs,
Yes.
or even the government, I know want to make certain jobs redundant, therefore send home more people, which makes no sense because the lack of jobs just and they're going to result in higher crime. Basically, that is it.
Yeah, and the crime is like, increasing in Trinidad, and it's increasing, and they will keep wondering why it is increasing, but you're not even giving us jobs. So, what would we want to do now? What when we can't feed our families? We want to kill people to get their money because they have a job and they have
Let
money.
them
So that is
definitely
what
go in
leads
and
to
live
criminals.
somewhere else and not stay here. Because this kind of job that I want to do is basically not available here.
Yeah.
Not even in the slightest. None of the jobs that
And Sinfire is a perfect example of someone who is skilled but not being able to get the right resources to help him further his education. Because he is going to a school that right now it is not being helpful to what he could, to his abilities, and he's gonna finish school just now. And what is he going to do in Trinidad? What does Trinidad have for him to stay? He have all these skills and he cannot get into the right university in Trinidad, and he cannot even get. And it's not that he's not fit for it, because he could definitely get into a university with his resume and all these things. But in Trinidad don't even have that for him here. And this is a perfect example of what many people like him do. They have to go and migrate to actually live their life
all this
in the
stuff
way they want to
that
live
skill
it.
that or want to do, like for instance YouTube, voice acting, pilot and everything. Basically it's better outside than basically in here because nobody really putting anything in place because they're already forgotten jobs because everybody want to be taxi driver, lawyer, this, that, yeah. What about the future pilots? What about different aspects like bringing in new jobs to the country?
Exactly. And the thing is, these are so annoying because we as students that are going to finish secondary school just now, we have to worry about these things. We have to worry if we will even be able to get a job. And the only way we could reassure ourselves that we could get a suitable job that will make us have the life that we would be comfortable with is by us moving out of the country. And trust me, we are not going to hesitate to move out of the country if we have the things that we need to move out of the country. No wonder Trinidad have all these restrictions and all these technical things to go through to get a visa because they know people want to leave their country.
And on top of that as well, basically people, how to put it? Basically they're not trying to do anything like to support people because some people actually have like great skills and they don't really have the finances. Yes, they have some scholarships in Trinidad and stuff, but it's not really accessible and it's not really practical because there's only people who, like this amount, blah blah blah, to pay back and loans and stuff. It really have full scholarships here available because it have many scholarships like the Chinese government scholarship, the Korean government scholarship, the Japanese government scholarship, all different scholarships that they offer. Different countries offer that is helping our students who are not really from financially stable families and be able to get a better life, and therefore they would choose to live in that country after some time of studying there.
Yes, this is true. And trust me that I know this, that when Trinidad, if we do not do something as a people and do something, and if the government don't do something soon, we are going down to the ground, because watch and see what's going to happen in a few years from now. A lot of these skilled people are going to leave. A lot of the people that we actually need right now to help our economy is going to leave. People with money in our country is going to leave, and what are we going to be left with? Please tell me, because we're going to be broke. We're going to be broke. We're going to have a crime rate. We're going to be run to the ground, and you know what? We're going to just end up like another country went broke.
I literally have no plans on staying here any longer than I need to. I'm looking for scholarship options right now, and I already find one, and hopefully I get shifted and I can leave next year. For people who want to pursue their dreams, it's best they really go outside, because that is the only accessible way, because their own home country doesn't really have anything in place to it.
And we are not trying to put down Trinidad, because we love our country and we love our people. And we really would love to see it flourish, and we would love to see it go somewhere. This is why we are talking about it, because we really want to see it change. But it is not changing at all, because we have stupid people. And when I say stupid, I mean stupid people running this country. Like, half of these people don't have common sense. Like, you would have to wonder if these people are even adults. Adults that have healthy brains. They act so stupid and autistic. And I am not trying to bash autistic people.
On to 42 minutes. So it's time for us to start to wrap up. So basically, what is your point that you want to throw out there for any government people who might be listening, or any viewers who, listeners who, want something in place? What do you want to share?
Well, what I could say is that if any person that is from the government, our Trinidad government that is hearing this, or even from any other government, because maybe you guys can reach out to our government.
From a government to government.
We
need... they could listen to another government because they want partnerships so bad.
Yeah. We need these things to be changed very soon, and this is students telling you this. It's bad when children are telling you what to do, and you don't even know what to do. So please listen to the things we are saying, because it's not only us have these complaints. These are things we hear every day, and not by our parents, but by people just walking down the streets or speaking about this. You get into a car, somebody is talking about this. We hear these complaints on a daily basis from many people. So these are not things we are making up because we are bored. Yes. Because these are problems we face in our daily life.
Yep. It makes other countries sound better than us, when we actually have potential to actually do great things as well. It's just other countries actually focus on what they want and putting things in place.
Yes. And instead of this, and the government should be listening to the people, is because it's the people you guys should be serving, not all yourself.
Basically, what it is right now, self-service, every man for himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and it shouldn't be so, right? And you don't really see countries that are great doing that, like Japan and Canada and all these places that are great countries that a lot of people in Trinidad wants to move to.
Podcast session, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you reached this far, Aurora, thank you for being here as well. Not sure what happened to
Thank you.
Luna, but we would see in the next podcast if she would be here. So, guys, thank you so much for listening, and we hope that you take yes, and you take understanding in what we say.
Stay
And
tuned.
hopefully that you will be able to make a difference in your country as well, even if you're not from here.
Yes, and comment down below if you do have these problems too, whether or not if it's in this country
So
or
we'll
in
end
the
it
country
here.
you live
So
in.
guys, see you for the next episode. This has been Let's Talk. Okay, bye.
Bye.